Hey you guys, welcome to day 3 of the live of the 15 secrets that I have to help you build a stellar high-end brand. I've been getting messages from a few of you who have been following these videos and have connected in the Mompreneur Club. Maybe you saw the video on YouTube or maybe you got it via email, and the feedback is really amazing. So I know that this is helping you guys. I heard from a girl just this morning how she's been wanting to up-level her brand. She's been wanting to increase her prices to create more income for her family. And she has some outsiders saying, no, that's impossible. You can't do that. Who will buy it? Who can afford it? And it's like the money mindset of all the people around her are affecting her business. So if you're hopping on live, say hello. I want to know who you are and where you are listening from this morning, this afternoon, whatever it is for you. But I'm excited that you're here, and I'm excited that you want to build a high-end brand and become more successful and create more income, more influence, more impact in your business. That's what this is all about. That's what I want to help people do. So if you haven't watched day 1 and day 2 of these videos, I'll just recap the secrets. You can go back and watch them right here in the Mompreneur Club, or you can watch them on YouTube. They'll be really close to these videos. So number 1 is get over starting over and what I call the umbrella theory. Number 2 is getting to know what your zone of genius is and how important that is in business, especially when creating an abundant, successful income for you as an entrepreneur. Number 3 is take a personality test and see how the world views you and what your strengths are. Then number 4 is set aside others' opinions and kick fear to the curb. That's something I'm always challenging myself to do and moving forward and helping clients do the same thing. Dream build like never before. I heard some guys yesterday, some of you saying, I need to scratch my vision board. I need to redo it. I need to go back. I need to start dreaming again. Maybe it's after having children, or maybe it's updating it from, something that's expired for you. Either some of those visions have come true or you haven't even done them yet. So yes, that was you, Valerie. I'm so excited you're going to be doing that. And then 6 was craft your story. So just really all about creating your brand story and connecting with your ideal client and really getting your story out there to be heard. So, hey, Catherine, if you guys are hopping on, say hello. I definitely want people to get to know each other here in the Mompreneur Club. That's what this is about, is creating relationships and connections that will help move your business forward. So I'm so glad you guys are here. I want to dive into what today is that I'm talking about. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Mandy. So I'm really excited to share these next 3 secrets. The first is that you decide where you want to stand out. So I am all about helping you create a standout brand. And what that really means is there's probably hundreds of thousands of other people doing something similar to you, but you can create a brand that stands out, even in a marketplace. You guys, if you were to sell this pom-pom necklace, if you guys can see it, and somebody else be selling this exact pom-pom necklace, and same thing on the internet, how do you create a brand that stands out above all the rest? So my tip for that is really finding first where you're going to stand out. The mistake that I see lots of entrepreneurs make is that they try to shine in all these different outlets, you guys. There's so many social media platforms today. There's Snapchat, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. The list goes on, and you can't build a brand from scratch starting today that's gonna stand out like crazy, Pinterest and all that, on all of those platforms. You have to ask yourself, where do I love to be? Where do I want to shine? Where do I want to stand out? Don't tell yourself, oh my gosh, there's already a bunch of people, there's thousands of people that already do what I do on this platform. You have to ask yourself, what do you love? Where do you want your business and your brand to build? And then you really have to focus there, you guys. You can't juggle all of them. So in the beginning of my business and brand, for me, it was Facebook. And it wasn't even Facebook the way that it is today. If I were to rewind my story for you guys, about 2.5 years ago, I had somebody who was stalking me, who was scaring the living daylights out of me. I was afraid to leave my house. I was afraid to do all these things. So when I was building my online business and that started happening, I reached out to like the police officials and they said, you need to delete all your social media accounts. You need to live this very private life. And at that time, that would have made us file bankruptcy, you guys. The majority of the income that actually pretty much all the income that we made at that time had to do with building a business and a brand via social media. So that was not an option for me. But at the time, I was doing all of these Periscope videos. I was building a following on Periscope. I was serving an audience, connecting with new customers and clients via Periscope. And every single time I was on Periscope, there would be all these weirdos, these guys that would be making comments about my physical body part that might be showing, or just tons of stuff that made me feel incredibly awkward. So I started asking myself, where could I build a brand that seems a little bit more safe, seems a little bit more secure? And at the time, it was building on Facebook, but more of in a private group, a community where I could know who was in it and I could, see who was there. So you might not be like me at all. You might be totally fine on your public page and sharing, but because of that life experience and me wanting to protect my family, protect my children and all of that, I chose a Facebook group. That was where I wanted to pour in, and so I created the Mompreneur Club. So now here we have 3,500 something entrepreneurs, all like-minded. They're all women. There's not a man in this group, and I don't allow for them to be, just because that's not what I desire for my brand. I think it's funny when guys request to be in the group, because I'm like, what the heck do they have to do with mompreneurship? I don't even know why they would request it, but it still happens. But the reason why I tell you that is I didn't try to do it everywhere. I really focused in on one. So for about 1 year, I built my brand solely in the Mompreneur Club. I didn't really do Facebook Lives on my personal page. I didn't even really post that much on my personal page. When I would get a message from somebody saying, Natalie, I miss like your inspiration and your information, I would say, oh, it's because I'm hanging out in the Mompreneur Club. Come hang out with us there. So I have really focused a huge part about my business, my brand, in the Facebook group, okay? Then about, I guess, 8-9 months ago, I decided I wanted Instagram to be my second one. So you guys, for a whole year, I built my brand solely on one social media platform. Then I expanded onto Instagram just to create that more visual branding. And when I did so, there's somewhat of a following on Pinterest for that same thing. And so I have gotten new clients, new connections through people via Pinterest without even really focusing on it. So the reason why I say find out where you want to stand out and find out where you want to shine. Don't try to juggle all of them, and don't lose focus on what your platform is, because all of them work. So if you're focused on Instagram for your business right now, and all of a sudden you see somebody talking about the success that they've created within a Facebook group, don't move all your horses and start running this different direction. I see people do that all the time. They get all excited because somebody said this has worked for them, and so then they start moving all their eggs and diversifying it, and they were just starting to build traction on that platform. So in the beginning, just decide what you love, decide where you want to be, decide where you want your brand, and stick to it. Totally just stay focused on that. long enough to where you really build a following, you build traction, you start gaining clients via that social media platform. And then when you really feel like you're fully established, then you can expand. Hey, Julie, I'm so glad you're here. So that's the first thing, is find where you want to stand out and be really, really consistent with it. The second thing I want to talk about today is declare your mission boldly. So there was something I said to you guys at the beginning of this video that was me wanting to help women increase their income, their influence, and their impact. Those are not 3 words that I just came up with. They're words that maybe a lot of people use in their marketing or they throw around out there, but I truly, at the end of the day, know that my mission is to help moms make more money, to create more purpose in their business by creating impact and actually changing people's lives through finding what their zone of genius is, maxing out their capability of how they can help people do that, and then feeling fulfilled by that, because the fulfillment that you get out of living in your zone of genius as opposed to your zone of excellence is totally different. Something I actually wanted to share with you guys in one of the prior videos, my aunt has extremely difficult hair to do. And when I did hair full time, I did her hair for years, and she was coming to visit me this last summer or springtime, and she was like, it is just a shame that you waste your talent of doing hair. It's just so sad. And I thought to myself, no, I traded that in. It was an amazing talent and skill of mine. I traded that in for a higher calling, for a higher purpose, something that I feel like fulfills the world in a bigger way, but it also fulfills me in a bigger way. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, because when you declare your mission, it doesn't matter if it sounds like anybody else or there's anybody else out there doing that, but it's really, truly you, and it ignites something in you that is so real and it's so raw. And I believe that that's a ton of where my motivation comes from, but it also connects me with so many people. People believe me when I'm saying, I love helping people make more money. I love helping them create more impact in, their community, whether it be a brick and mortar business or more impact in their online business or more influence in their network marketing business and their team and stuff like that. I'm completely obsessed with those things. And they wake me up every day. They pull me forward. That's what really makes my mind churn, like coming up with so many ideas for things like that. So you have to declare a mission statement for you, for your life, and really what you want for your family. That is a key component to your personal brand's success. You have to know that. You have to be able to say it. You have to be able to speak it from your heart and really have a purpose and mission for what you're doing. If you're doing something just to make a buck, or just doing something to make a little bit of money, or just do something because you're bored, you will not have the same success as somebody who truly has a mission and a heart that goes much deeper than just the financial reward or whatever that might be. They need to be aligned with your true mission and calling. And so I help clients find what that is deeply, and it's somewhat of a journey. And so I just challenge you today to know that you need to find that, you need to determine it, and you need to be able to create a sentence that fully aligns with what that is, okay? So the third thing that I want to talk about today is to style your brand to fit you and also to stick with it. Okay, this is something that I feel like probably hundreds of people in the last year and a half have reached out to me saying, Natalie, your brand is so amazing. I want a brand that, I'm swoon worthy of your brand, or I'm jealous, or, how did you create it? And I want to spend some time talking about that today, because my brand is a reflection of me. I didn't create it just to be cool or to look cool or to attract people. I created it as an outward reflection of the things that I love, who I really am. And so some people in branding, because maybe creativity and the vision for what they want doesn't come so easy to them, they just pick to replicate something that already exists. I'm going to use the example of light pink and black or something like that. It is so overused. And the reason being is because people just go, I don't really know what I like. I don't really know what represents me. And I see that and that's pretty, so I'm just going to go with it. Okay? So I did not do that. Whenever I was building my brand, I love stripes. I love gold. I love black and white. I looked in my closet and I thought I could go do 10 photo shoots right now of wearing black, white stripes, gold accessories. I mean, literally my closet was flooded with stuff that looked like that. So I wasn't going to choose rose gold and, camel color because that wasn't my natural go-to. It's not what I normally bought in the stores. It didn't really represent me. So that's a place to start. If you feel like you don't really have any fashion sense or even like a style representative of your own by looking at your closet, you're like, oh my gosh, I need so much help with that. You have to find a person, maybe it's a movie star or maybe it's a celebrity or maybe it's somebody that you've followed online, and you need to say, if I did have a style, if I had a closet full of clothes right now, what would I want them to look like? And then that starts establishing your brand. So it doesn't mean that you already possess all the things and own all the things and that's how you look every single day. I'm always having fashion inspiration or style inspiration from somebody new, but I stay true to what mine is and I don't change it all the time, okay? So I always said, I used to tell my mom, I wanted to have my personal self to be represented very like Coco Chanel, very, very classic and timeless. I once did my senior pictures with a huge fake flower strapped to my neck, and I remember my mom telling me, you're going to hate these pictures because that's so in style right now, but you're going to look back and laugh. And I was like, whatever, Mom. And that picture stayed on my grandmother's refrigerator till I was 20. Or I don't even know, 27, 28. And every single time I would look at it, I would be like, reminder of, I didn't want to brand myself with something that was so in fashion for that time. So I try to always ask myself, is this something that's going to be classic and timeless and beautiful and elegant 10 years from now? Am I still going to love that? Am I going to look back at that photo and love it? And so that's kind of how I've created my own style and personal brand that way. Some people they're more unique and they do want to stand out. I'm going to have to find it. My grandmother's passed away, and so her house is no longer together or whatever, but I bet my mom would still have one of these pictures. It was a daisy, a big black daisy flower. It was atrocious. On a black choker with a big black flower, I'm pretty sure. It was not cute. So I always ask myself, even in my brand, is how are things, what is going to be classic and elegant forever? So I'm going to talk more, tomorrow we're going to get into photo shoots and what makes photos stand out and how they're incredibly important in your branding. But your visual branding is super, super important. And for me, pink is a color that I've always loved. And I just want to give you guys an example that I had a client reach out to me or somebody who'd been following me for a while. And they made a comment on my maternity photos, said, pink is so your color. And I'm like, whoa, has this person been following me for years that just decided that pink was my color? I love pink, and that had to be a part of my brand. But Do people know what that color is for you? When people think of you, do they think of something? Do they think of a unique taste or styling or fashion, or maybe the way you wear your hair, or is it your makeup? I mean, what are you known for? Okay, so that's awesome. Rebecca says she loves red and she could wear it every single day. Then your brand has to represent red, and online and in your digital marketing and in everything that you're sharing as a part of your brand needs to reflect that red. People will start to associate when they see red with you, and you become this brand leader and this influencer over the color red, right? It could be a color, it could be something that you do all the time. It's not just colors, it's lots of other things. But I have a friend who, her color is cobalt blue, and every time she's anywhere, she's looking for things that are blue to buy, to wear, to stand by, to photo, to talk about. And, you know, just the other day, I saw a big pair of tassel earrings, cobalt blue. Who did it make me think of? Her. And so you want that, especially with social media and the influence that you have over so many people. I, know that you guys see pineapples behind me right now, but I get messages after message of, I saw this pineapple and made me think of you. Don't know if you've seen this already, or do you have this, all the time. And it's how I've created brand recognition, okay? And I think that all of you guys can have that same wow factor, that same effect, whether it's the colors of your branding, the design of it. I mean, Kimra Luna's branding has like astronauts in it and rockets and stars and spaceships. And although that does not appeal to me at all, it stands out to me, and I know who she is because of it, because it's different and it's ironic and it's, different than anything else that you see out there. So I believe that a stellar high-end brand is recognizable by so many. It's not going to be the thing that just, mixes in with the crowd. It's not going to be what everybody else is doing. So when I was picking my colors, orange and pink are not colors that typically complement each other or go together. But it's two colors that I absolutely love. It makes me think of like tropical paradise, bright, fun, an electric green. I mean, I love bright colors. I will be wearing, I have a bright colored pea coat that I wear in the winter, and I have bright colored handbags that I carry all through the winter. That's just who I am. And somebody will say, oh my gosh, do you wear pink lipstick every day? No, I really don't. I like brown lipstick and, burnt red lipstick and all of that. I love fashion, so I love lots of different looks, but I would never do a photo shoot, or I would never, create something for my brand. It would be like me wearing the flower on my neck for me to wear dark red lipstick to represent me and my universal brand of how I feel my best and how I want to be remembered and what I want to be known for, okay? So I want you to ask yourself what those things are for you. What are the things that you love that will set you apart, that you can stay on and stick to for years and years to come? So it's not like a fad thing. It's not something that is going to come and go and change all the time. You really have to find what it is, and you have to stick to it long enough that some of your friends are going to take 2 years to figure out that pink is your color or whatever the color might be. So thank you so much, you guys. You guys are awesome. So those are the 3 things I wanted to talk about today is find where you're going to stand out and just stick to that 1 or 2 platforms. To declare your mission boldly. If you don't have a mission statement, if you don't know what it is and it's not so connected to your heart, find out what it is today. And then third is to style your brand to fit you, really who you are. It's funny that some coaches or mentors will tell you to start asking other people, oh, what do you think of when you think of me, or whatever. And I always am kind of a little bit shaken by that, because it's like, if you don't know who you are and that's not apparent to you, why would you think it would be to others? Like, if you don't know what your things are that are your things, you start asking other people, and if you're confused about it, they're sure confused about it for you. So that's probably where I would differ to say, don't go ask the people around you, what color do you think of when you think of me? Or I'm working on my branding. What do you think I should do in it? You have to ask yourself those questions. You have to figure out what you love, what style icon you want to look like, what you want to model your brand as. The last thing I want to share with you is when you're branding and when you're really finding your iconic style to build your $1 million high-end brand, you have to live as if, okay? So if your vision board says, I want to be a 7-figure business owner, I want the freedom to travel the world, work for myself, not slave away to a boss, and then you look in your closet and you find the thing that you picked up off the triple clearance rack at Dillard's, and you're going to define your brand off of that, there's something missing, you guys. So that's why vision board and dream building is so important before you get to the point of your brand, is because you have to ask yourself, where are the places that you would go if money weren't an option? What were the things that you would wear and buy and see and do if all of your dreams had already come true? You have to build the brand to reflect that person if you ever want to go there, okay? So if your dream is red bottom shoes, but yet you build this JCPenney brand, no offense to anybody, those things don't add up, right? So I'm not saying that your brand you have to go out and spend this tremendous amount of money and buy shoes and clothes and everything. I bought a dress that I wore in one of my original photo shoots that was $12, okay? But it does not look like it. When you see the photos of me wearing that dress, it looks like this 7-figure, $1 million brand entrepreneur that wants to be featured on the cover of a Success magazine or something like that. It's reflected of it. So ask yourself, who do you want to be in the brand that you want to build 5 years from now? And how do you need to look today? Or what, things do you need to be putting out on social media to share that vibe that you're that business person, and those people will start being attracted to you. So I hope this has helped you guys today. I'm excited to hop on tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time as well. Invite a friend or two to join you. Hopefully this has helped you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.